recently I saw your Big Ten predictions video, and I seen that you're drinking that Michigan Kool-Aid, Sam. I mean, you're drinking that maize blue and yellow Kool-Aid, and you may be a little bit addicted to it, Sam, because you have them going 14-2, going all the way back to the 90 just to lose to Georgia. You might as well have just picked them to beat Georgia if that's the case. Just come on and say it, Sam. Michigan is going to go back to back this year.
No, no. I wish, but McCarthy didn't come back, and Georgia is probably going to smack whoever they want to in the face. I think they should be the unanimous number one team this year. I just have faith in the offensive line, but that's really the only spot I have faith in outside of Donovan Edwards at running back. And I think he's shown that with the right offensive line and when he is in open space, he's deadly. But the evidence shows that with what Michigan's bringing back at tight end, defensive tackle, defensive end, what they have in Will Johnson at corner, they're bringing back NFL players. And last year's team was so loaded that even only returning 40% of their production this year, if some things fall right for Michigan, schedule wise, roster wise, college football playoff seeding wise, which honestly is the only reason I'm picking them to appear in the national title game, they can win a lot of games. I think this team, to make a reference that Michigan fans in particular will be very familiar with, I think this team in a certain sense could be like a more Michiganized version of a Mark D'Antonio team, like his 13 or 14 or 15 teams, where they beat good teams in one possession games, or maybe they win some close games against inferior competition, but they just know how to win. I think they'll be good at scheming, and there's a lot going for them. They have questions for sure, but it's more realistic for them to, be a top 10 team or even be a top 5 team than I think some people are thinking.
It's just for me, I'm having a hard time buying into Michigan having that good of a season because of the lack of the production that they bring back. They do have some really good players still, but it's more of a big issue with the quarterback position for me outside of the returning production because JJ McCarthy, for as much criticism he received for being a game manager, he was a really effective one. Anytime he was asked to throw the football, the win, he always came through and got it done. Alex Orji, on the other hand, he's a way better athlete than what JJ McCarthy is. I mean, have you ever seen Alex Orji with his shirt off? Oh my goodness, the dude is built like the
Jacked.
he's built like the Black Hercules, Sam. So we know this dude is a freak on the ground, but how good is he going to be throwing the football with accuracy with a wide receiving core that also has as many questions as the quarterback position?
Well, watching the spring game and just observing and analyzing what I saw, which was a very limited sample size, and also paying attention to the fact that Michigan put him in critical games, so they trust him, but they didn't let him throw, they just had him run. I think he'll be a great runner, very elusive, but I don't think his passing capabilities will be any better than good at the very best. The reason I believe that he will be an average, above average, maybe good overall quarterback is his athleticism and build. But more importantly, I think the supporting cast that's around him, the coaching, and the fact that he is a defense that can give him multiple possessions and opportunities to learn and evolve and grow. But that is a position with a big drop off. The receiver room has tons of questions. The encouraging thing for Michigan as it relates to that is I don't think that Michigan will have to have anything better than even an above average or average passing game to win most of their regular season games and at least get back to the playoff. Like between even Oregon, Ohio State, and Texas, again, if some balls bounce Michigan's way, or if one, two, or all three of those teams are not as good as advertised this year in some spots, particularly at the line of scrimmage, Michigan could, well, not do what they did against Penn State last year because that's an anomaly that only an elite team could do. But they could maybe just keep those teams honest, or one of them with play action and then ground and pound and have an amazing defense. And a 10-2 Michigan team is going to the playoff with that schedule. So I understand why people have questions. And as favorable as I am being to Michigan in my predictions, I'm picking them to lose to Ohio State. And I think that Georgia would, much again like 2021, be a nightmare matchup for Michigan this year. So, as much as I would love them as a fan to win it all, and if everything were to go their way, I think they could. The chance is very small, and I'm not going to pick them to do that.